Hello aspirants, a very good day to all of you. This is Vilasini from Veranda IAS. So friends, இன்னைக்கு நம்ம என்ன பார்க்க போறோம்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா the editorial analysis of today. So today dated 4th August 2025, இன்னைக்கு நம்ம டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ண போற topic is this particular topic called as the right to repair. The right to repair must also include the right to remember. So in the context, we will try understanding this editorial in detail. So before that, in the editorial வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா it talks about repairing electronics. Okay, so e-waste, repairing electronics, extended producer responsibility. இந்த மாதிரியான சில terminologies we will try understanding in detail. And in the topic வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா it features as a very important topic in your GS paper 3 environment, especially under the topic called as pollution. Pollutionல வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா specifically e-waste. Okay, so in the context we need to understand this topic in detail. Okay, so author oda opinion enna sollirukanga idu ellame are important. So before we actually enter into this topic, let us understand few things. So guys, editorial பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் how are you expected to analyze every editorial that you read? Okay, இதுக்கு வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா there is an acronym. This acronym is regarded as code. C-O-D-E, code. Okay, so இந்த code வந்து என்னன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா number 1 C stands for the context. Context-ஆ இருக்கலாம், or it can even talk about the core issue. Okay, next வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா O stands for the opinion. So yes, நீங்க படிக்கிற எல்லா editorials வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா author's opinion becomes very very important, especially because இந்த opinions நம்ம ஆர்ட்ஸ் எழுதும் போது we can use it as suggestions. Okay, next வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா when we talk about D stands for data. When I say data, statistics, important findings இருக்கலாம், examples இருக்கலாம், right? Previous year comparisons இருக்கலாம், case studies இருக்கலாம், all this comes under data. E வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா E refers to what is called as your editorial takeaways. Editorial takeaways. So yes, examination point of view வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா editorial takeaways becomes very significant, because in the editorial takeaways, what you're going to take out of this editorial now, you will be using it in your answers. And in the context of the editorial takeaways can further be categorized into a proper heading. And this acronym is called as ICES approach. So in the இடத்துல வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா your I stands for issues, right? Your C stands for causes. Okay, your E stands for effects, right? And your S வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா it stands for what is called as solutions. So yes, ICES கூட பாத்தீங்கன்னா it is very very important for the simple reason being, right? நீங்க majority of the questions in your GS paper, like I always say, the dimensions that your questions revolve around is primarily factors, causes, effects, initiatives, solutions. So இந்த இடத்துல all your editorial content, நீங்க எடுக்கிற content நீங்க இந்த categories organize பண்ணிட்டா it will become easy for you, right? So நம்ம editorial analyze பண்ணும்போது we will primarily be discussing code. Okay, and takeaways. By analyzing this editorial, I want you all to make your notes for ICES. And let me tell you this, editorials பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் there is no force fit model, which basically means in the acronym called code or even this ICES வந்து cannot apply uniformly for all editorials. For example, சில editorialsல CD இருக்கலாம், opinions கம்மியா இருக்கலாம், சில editorials data கம்மியா இருக்கலாம். So it varies from editorial to editorial, but majority of the editorials in the model will fit. Okay, so in the context, if we talk about the right to repair, basically என்ன பேசியிருக்காங்கன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா number 1, they talk about sustainable electronics. So May 2025 வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா Indian government has taken efforts to promote sustainability in the electronic sector. Okay, so here வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா they're talking about sustainability, they're talking about many things, right? Repairability Index பத்தி ஒன்னு பேசியிருக்காங்க. So what is Repairability Index? What does it mandate? இது பத்தி நம்ம டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணுவோம். Next one வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா they even talk about இந்தியால இருக்கிற informal workers who are engaged in this repairing sector. What is that they are not provided of? What is missing? What is the lacunae? How do we integrate them? அது பத்தி பேசியிருக்காங்க. Next they talk about something called as tacit knowledge. Okay, tacit knowledge. இந்த tacit knowledge na என்னன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா knowledge which cannot be codified, which is not documented. For example, நீங்க டெல்லி கூட பாருங்க, there will be many places like Karol Bagh etc where you'll find many people engaged in massive repair works. இவங்க வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா இவங்களுக்கு வந்து ஒரு ஏதாவது இவங்க டிகிரி பண்ணிருக்காங்களா, இவங்க ஃபார்மல் எஜுகேஷன் எடுத்திருக்காங்களா, இல்ல. It is just passed down from generations to generations through oral transmission. So in the case, in the Mari knowledge is not being codified as tacit knowledge, but yes, the knowledge of these people is also good. It has to be preserved, right? So here there is a cultural angle also to it. இது பத்தி இந்த author பேசியிருக்காங்க. Next one வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா, she's even spoken about the blind spot in India's digital policy, and here she's spoken about extended producer responsibility na என்ன. So in the context of for you to understand extended producer responsibility. So e-waste produce பண்ற manufacturer, okay, e-waste produce பண்ற manufacturer at the end of the life cycle of the e-waste is responsible for it. இதுதான் extended producer responsibility. இதை வச்சு உங்க prelims questions வந்திருக்கு. So read about extended producer responsibility. Okay. So next வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா அவங்க என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காங்க, although இந்தியால நிறைய initiatives இருக்கு, right, but here repair works are not recognized or rather are not promoted. So that is a major gap in what we have. So இதை பத்தி பேசியிருக்காங்க. Next one வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா she has also mentioned what should be the ideal way forward. How do we integrate them, right? நிறைய போர்ட்டல்ஸ்லயோ ட்ரைனிங் ப்ரோக்ராம்லயோ ஃபார்மல் சைக்கிள்குள்ள இவங்களை கொண்டு வரணும். How will this be useful? இதை பத்தி எல்லாமே டீட்டெயிலா டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. So in the context when we talk about CODE, right? CODE. So context when clear, we are talking about the context of this particular issue revolves around right to repair, right? So repair works, right? Ivangaloda life, what are some measures that they require? What are some problems that they face? This is one. Next, when we talk about opinions of the author பத்தி பேசும்போது, yes, the author feels that in the context வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா the knowledge of repair works, right? Ivangaloda knowledge வந்து something which needs to be codified. Right now it is under the scope of tacit knowledge, but codifying it, documenting it, cherishing and preserving their knowledge is also very important. இது வந்து opinion. Data in the context வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா one major data that is given is 2021-22 ல மட்டுமே India has generated 1.6 million tons of e-waste, becoming the world's third largest producer. Okay, so this is a very important data. So data we saw some examples. E is editorial takeaways. It is an editorial takeaways that we will discuss in detail. Okay, so I hope this part is clear. Next, let us understand few things. So here வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா Repairability Index for electronics வந்து has been released by the government. So இந்த Repairability Index என்ன இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா spare parts ஓட access, like basically it will be a ranking list. இந்த ranking listல different products will be arranged from 1 to 10 with regard to இந்த ப்ராடக்ட் வந்து நம்ம எவ்வளவு ஈஸியா ரிப்பேர் பண்ணலாம், இதுக்கு தேவைப்படுற எக்யூப்மெண்ட் ஸ்பேர் பார்ட்ஸ் வந்து எவ்வளவு ஈஸியா அவைலபிளா இருக்கு, சாஃப்ட்வேர் சப்போர்ட் இதுக்கு எப்படி இருக்கு, இது எல்லாமே. அண்ட் எஸ், ஃபார்மல் ரீசைக்ளிங்க்கு தேவைப்படுற மினிமம் ஃபண்டிங், இது பத்தியும் இதுல பேசியிருக்காங்க as a part of the repairability index. Next வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா if you talk about the main argument, the argument is that see repair works வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா it is not just a consumer right, but it is also way beyond. It is a part of the tacit knowledge. It is a part of an intellectual resource. இந்த இடத்துல the skill that it involves is not documented, right? It is only transferred from generation to generation. இதை நம்ம already பார்த்தோம். We spoke about it in the context of tacit knowledge. So yes, நிறைய இடத்துல for example சென்னையில இருக்கிற ரிச்சி ஸ்ட்ரீட்ல கூட நீங்க பாருங்க, நிறைய workers are found repairing phones etc. இவங்க ஏதாவது like you know have they done a degree somewhere like in some abroad institution or some nationally recognized institution? இல்ல, but they are still very skilled, very aware, but this is not included under the scope of what is called as being skilled. That is the problem. Next one வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா informal systemல இவங்க இருக்க right, we are not reaping the benefits of a formal economy. That has also been suggested over here. Next வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா என்ன, what are the major blind spots அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா number 1, இந்தியால இருக்கிற many policies and AI strategies, we focus on recycling. Recycling பத்தி நம்ம நிறைய பேசுறோம். We are talking about generating e-waste. We are talking about what is called as extended producer responsibility. கன்சியூமர்ஸ் வந்து இன்னும் எவ்வளோ அவேரா இருக்கணும் வித் ரிகார்ட் டு ரிசைக்ளிங், இது பத்தி எல்லாமே நம்ம பேசுறோம். பட் ஏன் இந்த ரிப்பேர் அண்ட் இந்த ரிப்பேர் ஒர்க்ஸ் பத்தி நம்ம அட்ரஸே பண்ண மாட்டேங்கிறோம்? Why are we not talking about it? That is also a scope of type of skilling, right? That is also a type of work. Why is this not recognized? Why it is not discussed about? So in the context of although நிறைய government programs இருக்கு, for example, we have the e-waste management rules, right? The Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, right, which talks about skill development, national education policy. The எல்லாத்துலயுமே வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா repair works has not been explicitly labeled. Okay, it is kept outside the purview. So this is a problem. So here வந்து we're talking about promoting recycling, reusing, and in the context of வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா a term has also been mentioned, right? This is not mentioned in this article, but I want you all to go read about it. It's called as e-waste clinics. கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்களா இந்த term? E-waste clinics. Simple termல சொல்லணும்னா e-waste clinics are sites where electronic waste will be collected, segregated, right, categorized and further sent for treatment. ஏன் இந்த e-waste clinic important ன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, this is the biggest problem. The global north versus the global south. Developed countries are dumping electronic goods and waste into developing countries and using developing countries to promote and make advantages of their own just to get disposed of their waste. இந்த மாதிரி பண்றாங்க. Next, in the context, say e-waste is increasing. And yes, all of you know, India has overtaken China. We have become the most populous country. So population increase ஆகும்போது automatically use பண்ற electronic goods, everything will also increase, right? Think about the number of phones, the number of electronic gadgets, everything which is coming. இந்த மாதிரி e-waste accumulate ஆயிட்டே இருந்து, if we burn them, if we incinerate them, what could be the pollution hazards? Next, இதே e-waste வந்து soil accumulate ஆயிட்டு இருந்துச்சுன்னா, it will contaminate water sources, it will contaminate soil. இது எல்லாமே are problems. So therefore, formalizing this sector, bringing these people into a formal sector becomes very, very important. Next வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா, what are some way forward? So in the context, இவங்களோட skills are also significant and important. So national skilling programs லையும் சரி, digital public infrastructure லையும் சரி, let us acknowledge their knowledge, right? Let us take efforts to promote their knowledge. In the context, we are talking about promoting sustainable development பத்தி நம்ம பேசுறோம், circular economy பத்தி பேசுறோம், right? And India also has a mission called as Mission Life. கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்களா? So read about this mission. It is called as Mission Life. Mission Life basically stands for lifestyle for the environment. Lifestyle for the environment. So Mission Life மாதிரி இருக்கிற initiatives promote பண்றது கூட, this becomes significantly important. Recognizing repair work, integrating them into the formal sector, right? Circular economy na enna? A place where the waste is less. Okay, circular economy oda simple meaning வந்து என்னன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, நம்ம எல்லாருமே goods வாங்குறோம், யூஸ் பண்றோம், தூக்கி போட்டுடுறோம், right? This is a linear economy. Circular economy வந்து நம்ம போடுற wasteல இருந்தும் நம்ம integrate பண்ணி, இதுல இருந்து நம்ம new products create பண்ணி, we are bringing it back into the system. So waste வந்து recycle பண்ணி, reuse பண்ணி, if we bring it back into the system, resource extraction will become less. Right? In the context, kuda recognizing and acknowledging repair work becomes important, right? So in the category, a lot of people are there, providing them good social security measures, integrating them into the formal economy will definitely be the ideal way forward. Okay, so guys, with this, I hope the discussion was useful. E-waste பத்தி போய் படிங்க, extended producer responsibility பத்தி படிங்க, mission life, what is a circular economy, read about all these terms, right? It will be very useful from the examinations point of view. Thank you. All the best.
Veranda IAS, where your dream becomes reality.